Testing. Say something. Oh, this is text. And link. Looks like somebody's already here. Cheers, Dr. O. I am looking for the link. Share. Here we go. Please excuse my amateur understanding of this, as this is the first time I've live streamed. Can you hear me okay, Dr. O? Is way up above, and so when I'm looking at my computer, it looks like I'm looking down. So I will try to look up periodically, but I will also be down here. And how are you doing? Oh, there I am. Ugh. Yeah, me too. What's your username? I don't recognize Dr. U. Are you Alliance Match? Oh, are you Doctor? Doc. Sorry, not Doctor. Doc. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we so I'm okay with chatting about that a little bit. My focus, I want to focus on the 100 game, but I am okay with chatting about that briefly too. Yeah, 100 game is the focus. So I was originally going to do this on mobile because that's how I do all of my videos. And this is the first time I've used my computer for any of this. So I need to get Supremacy 1914 on the browser because I haven't done that. And if I can share, my screen, which I don't know how to do, then I might show you guys just the final map, my defeat screen. Before we get talking about it, though, let's see. Don't. Well, I was going to sit out. I have a nice big oak tree in my front yard, and I was going to do live by the oak. I figured that would be fun, but wasn't able to do that. Hey, we got somebody else. Simon. So I am happy to talk about Nerf, Surf, and Turf, but I'm going to be very careful what I say. So the NST game is getting really interesting, politically speaking. So I knew early on that we would need to make some militaristic moves because strategically we have a very defensible area, but we are sharing the defensible area with a another coalition, another team. And so I knew that we would need to make pretty quick progress because they're in the same situation we're in, and the first person to make ground is going to come out on top. So I've nearly taken out a player. They have one province left, and it has left coalition in an uneasy state. We'll say it that way. There's also been some fun back and forth with Papa Smitty and some others, and I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. I am excited to continue it, but it'll be a whole lot more fun once we get to the later stages of the game, where people can actually have some surf and some nerf. Because right now it's just all the turf wars. I've got cavalry and armored cars, but right now we are pre-artillery, so it's fun though. I was kind of looking forward to a video this morning from Spankerton, but didn't end up seeing one. All right, well, we got a handful, so I guess I'll go ahead and start. Um, yeah, so I'm Mighty Benaya. First time I think I've done any kind of live streaming or anything, so please excuse the amateur state of this live stream. First time I've done this before, so I have a lot of learning to do. So for the 100 game, I made a attempt at a solo run, and I'm trying to pull it up, and it's not sending me a login link. So I'm having difficulty getting it to pull up on my desktop. But as we go back through the videos and then we think back, it started off really, really good. I was doing a test, seeing if I could win or at least do well, consistently spending 1,000 gold mark per day, which is our, I kept saying alliance, it's the universe communities rule for any community game. So it's the rule for the Nerf Surf and Turf game, supposed to spend more than 1,000 gold mark per day average. So if you save one day and spend it the next day, then that's fine. But I was trying to be consistent, spend 1,000 a day as a test to see if there was anything off about that rule. If it would be better to up it or decrease it, if it was way overpowered at 1,000. And we started off pretty strong. We had a little bit of luck. The nation next to us made a very poor choice, and we were able to basically eliminate them at a loss of 7 troops. So we started off really strong. We had a good starting point, and then I got cocky. I made a big mistake, and I sent a bunch of troops in and attacked a fort and just lost them. And I was only down, it was only 30 troops. It wasn't like a huge number, but because I sent them in and I didn't build a fort where they were defending, the South African player sent in all of their troops. They suicided into us, which would have been fine. Like, okay, they suicided into us. It's not great. We're weak, but we can make up the ground, and all we have to do is make artillery. Yeah. So that was the reason. I'll go over that in a little bit, Simon, the rule itself. But I knew that if we got to artillery, we would be in a good position because I can artillery him down. I had more resource production, had more troop production. So all we needed to do was just wait him out. And that's what I should have done. I should never have sent in that 100. But because I sent in the extra 100 troops, the problem became that because they suicided into us, we became weak. And so third-party states saw that there was just a land grab, and they came in and just decimated us. And by the time we were able to hold, South Africa had left the game. He was no longer a problem, but Angola was the problem, and we had to retreat all of our forces back to a hot gates situation, and it just didn't. It was feasible, and we could have held it for a long time, but because they had right of way, because Angola had right of way with German Nambia, we couldn't take out South Africa to gain the resources back, and they were able to produce artillery faster than we were. So I took out his first round of artillery, um, and we had range superiority for a little while. But whenever he was able to keep producing those, and I had to build forts to prevent him from coming in, I couldn't spend that iron instead on producing more artillery. So it ended up not working well for us. So for the rule, that was developed a while ago. Hey, Spankerton. Yeah, probably. So I'm going to answer Simon's question, and then I'll address that. Or Simon's comment. So way back in like the beginning of the multiverse, or no, it was the big debacle in the middle of the multiverse game. There were questions about, hey, was somebody goldmark spamming? What does goldmark spamming mean? There were people who left the community, and I'm not going to get into all of the drama because it really doesn't matter anymore. But left the community, and I'm not going to get into all of the drama because it really doesn't matter anymore. But several of us, Spankerton included, some of the mods, we all sat together and said, okay, we don't want people to just spend money to win the game when we are promoting a game for the community, because we're all in it to have fun. We're not in it to whoever pays the most wins. So it took a while. I actually fought for 2K and 2,000 gold mark, because you can gain 1,500 gold mark per day by watching the ads on mobile, which is what I do. Like I highly suggest getting the ads for just the premium account because it's got a lot of really useful stuff. But so I fought for 2,000 because you get the 1,500 plus winnings from past games, and I was focused on one game at a time as opposed to 3 or 4. But a couple others said, no, let's do 1,000. I said, okay, you know what, at 1,000 we can work that out. And I haven't seen a lot of people use that many gold marks, and part of it's because we're doing this alliance play. They did the challenge, and we did the arena, which was a blast. Spankerton keeps saying that no gold marks is a ton of fun because there's that tension of you can't spend anything. So I decided, once the multiverse game ended, I had a little bit of a lag. I knew that I was going on vacation in December, so I didn't want to start a 500 game. And I wanted to save a spot for the Nerf Surf Turf because I'm really enjoying it, and I knew I would. And I wanted to save a spot for an Alliance challenge. We didn't know about the tournament at the time. So I thought, well, I'll launch a game and I'll just do a test. And if it's just me and it goes 90 days, then so be it. So that's why I decided to test the 1,000 gold marks just to see how effective it was. And honestly, I think we could have gone up to 2,000 and it'd be fine. But I think no matter what you spend 1,000 gold mark on, it's very difficult to call that spamming. Because even if you save all your gold mark from day 1 to day 5, right, and you immediately gold mark a factory, you're still waiting 4 days for your first artillery, because you can't build that second factory right away. And if you instead gold mark artillery once your factory is built, you're still waiting 2 days because of the way that the game works. You have to spend a lot more than 1,000 a day for it to make a long-term meaningful impact. As far as artillery goes, I'd say barracks are probably the best thing to rush because it's an early game. I'd say barracks are probably the best thing to rush because it's an early game. Um, it's an early game surge that you can get more territory, and it's that compounding one right after the other. You make progress so that you can make more resources. So Spankerton, that northwest attack, I it might have happened no matter what, but I really think that it would not have happened to the same extent had we had to troops to defend with, because I pulled a bunch of troops away from that border just to keep defending where we were. So I don't know. I don't know what the long term efficacy um, of that position is. I got that nation randomly. It would not have been my first pick, but it was the last one available, and I said, "Sure, we'll try this." Um, I don't think that I like that. I don't think that I like North Rhodesia, but hey, that's what we ended up with, and it was a great challenge. I would definitely do that again. So, out of curiosity, um, right now I'm looking at doing a 100 game with Orange Pit Bull and Lava Lamp Man and one other individual, which is letters and numbers. Let me look at my phone and see if I can. I think it's C4719N. I think that mentioned wanting to do the 100 game. But what would are there any tests that you guys would want to see? Um, you want to see like what it would take, the amount of gold mark early that it would take to do well, or um, are there any other maps that you would want to see? Because at this point, I don't know that like I don't really consider myself a YouTuber or a streamer. I consider myself a part of the community, a part of Spankerton's community, who's just trying to help all of our players to have a better understanding of the game. And if doing something in particular is going to be helpful, hey, how's it going, Silver Star? If exploring an avenue is going to be helpful, then I definitely want to do that over, what I want to do. So I'm curious if you have any questions about the 100 game, and I'm willing to talk about the Nerf Surf Turf or the upcoming Alliance tournaments or the Alliance practice that we're about to do. But I'm curious, what are some things that you want to see? What are some challenges or um, interesting experiments that you guys want to see done? Because that's what I'm interested in. I want to help the community learn. And I don't know what this slide thing is. Oh, okay, here we go. I wish I could see who all was in. Oh, participants. Here we go. I only see 2. That's okay. I see that there are 6 people around. I do too, Spankerton. I think that Alliance play is going to be a blast. I really would like to see 1 or 2 more people on the Alt Alliance. I might try to steal some of your Universal Soldiers, but I'm really excited to start getting into the challenges. I think it's really hard when you first start out because you because you have that low score, I think the matchmaking is difficult because you've got a lot of alliances that are just, you know, one or two people and it's dead. So there's not really anybody to play. Um, that's interesting, Simon. Um, I'll address that here in a second. Um, all I was saying, Spankerton, is I might have to steal somebody for the tournament because I'm excited about the tournament, but we're gonna need a little bit of help. Yeah, yeah. It's hard getting individuals to jump from the difficult to the I'm sorry, from new and not having done it to like, okay, all of a sudden we're really committed. Yeah, I thought that was you, Ulcia. So Simon, solo where you can make coalitions in game. Here's the thing. I'm not opposed to working with people throughout the game. I'm not opposed to even having loose alliances with individuals. The problem with coalitions, making coalitions and intending to go solo is anytime you enter into a coalition, you are entering into it with the intention of betraying them. And I have some conscience issues with that. I'm not saying that betraying your coalition members is always bad, but at the same time, when you are intentionally being deceptive to your coalition members and sometimes outright lying to them from the get-go, I have some conscience issues with that. I don't have a problem allowing people to believe a lie. Deception is a part of warfare, but I do have a problem outright lying to people, and I try not to do that. So like Nerf Surf and Turf is a great example. There it was a situation a couple of days ago, and I don't mind them knowing this now. The East Algerian, uh, yes, the East Algerian player that I was conquering. They said, "Okay, I can't do this anymore. You guys have obviously allied with the Ottomans, or and are coming after me, or you guys have allies and you're double teaming me." And I messaged him back and I said, "Oh yeah, what do you know?" And he said, "Oh, the Ottomans are in the water and they're coming up to my borders." Well, it was those two cars that Spankerton had seen, the two illegal cars that were going to the dead zone. And all I responded with was, "Oh, yeah, that." And then I just moved on. I don't have a problem with allowing people to believe a falsehood. Yeah, that's what they saw. I don't have a problem with allowing people to believe a falsehood, but intentionally telling them something that's not true, I think that that is a gray zone that I have a conscience issue with. I know not everybody does, but it's not something that I necessarily want to do. And that's kind of the reason why I didn't make coalitions and I didn't join coalitions in that game, even though it's probably better for me going solo, knowing that I would need to betray somebody or the entire coalition. It just didn't sit right with me. Um, I'm glad that Spankerton. I'm glad that that you might allow me to borrow a soldier or two. I'll see if you want to join the Alt Alliance. I don't know if you're in there or not, but if you want to join, I don't currently have permissions to accept members. But if you apply, I'll let Hemland know. Hemland um, is the officer, and Baderick is also in there. He's the leader, so I'll let them both know, and they'll accept you, and we'll get you in some of the good games. Uh, that's true, Spankerton. I would be okay with that. Um, it is a solo start, And that's kind of how I presented it, to the surrounding nations when I said that I was doing going for a solo win. I was going for a non-coalition win was my intent. Um, but I wouldn't have any problem with if that's the kind of game that you would want to see, going in and working with a coalition of randoms. Like, I'm fine with that. And that might be good for growing the community. But at the same time, I want to, since Orange Pitbull, who I've never played with, he is in the NST game, and Lava Lamp Man I have played with. He's also, if you go back into the history, I think that's Biden 7. Um, but he asked to join. And I'm okay with saying, hey, why don't you guys start one, and I'm going to do this different thing. But since I said that I would like to, that I would be willing to play a game with them, I'd like to at least consider that. Okay, I will. You let me know. Uh, and I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing your name, Ulcia, right? But yeah, let me know when you apply, and I'll send the word over. Hey, we've got an applicant. I think you might have. So the Alt Alliance, as far as I'm aware, has never been full or close to full. The Universal Alliance has, and in fact, has had applicants that could not be accepted because the alliance was full. Good for training. Spankerton, you talking about bringing in Orange Pitbull and the new guy that is letters and numbers that I can't remember his name. C479 something. Or were you talking about just grabbing randoms? Good for training to help people know how to work the diplomacy of it. Olesa. Okay. Okay. Okay, Spankerton, I got you. Masta Gaming. That's a new man. I did not expect this many people. I'm humbled. You guys are awesome. Latin America, very good for solo wins. You can get a province with a solid base for mid game. So actually, my second 100 game I did with my brother Morcus. For those of you who aren't aware, Morcus is my younger brother. And I played Venezuela, and he played Colombia, and we just went in, just the two of us, expecting maybe to ally with randoms. And South America is potent, especially with like they've got the food isn't huge, but Venezuela's just got oil coming out everywhere, and right south of them, Rio, um, Paratini, Republic of Paratini, has lots of like wood, and they have fish. So yeah, South America is really, really good for really anybody wanting to start. Um, I've not played anything in Asia. I might decide to do something in Asia. I might do Asia with friends. That's kind of where I'm leaning. We haven't decided where we're going at all. Um, but I see a lot of dropouts, but also a lot of good coalitions come out of um, like really anywhere in Asia, uh, whether it's the like China area or the Afghanistan, yeah, India, Gaieties. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of these. Uh, so let's see. Literally steamrolled everybody. You get enormous resource of steel and oil, so you can put out mass production. Yeah, with South America, yeah. I don't remember there being a lot of steel there, but I'm not looking at the map, so there's that. Um, but I'm not looking at the map, so there's that. Um, Olesa. Texas Navy in WoW's Blitz. Okay. Oh, you got free steel? Oh, no, no, no. 50,000 plus steel. Wow. Fishies? Oh, from India. Man, you guys are going so fast. I can't keep up. I'm trying to read all the comments and have fun with you guys, but I can't keep up. You guys are too kind. I can't believe like I didn't expect 7 people to show up on a random Sunday afternoon. This is awesome. All right, so I guess my plan at this point, yeah, Brazil is awesome. I guess my plan at this point is next thing that I'll do is 100 with friends. Do you guys have any desires on like special rules, internal game in those 15 desires on like special rules, internal game in those 15 player maps? Yeah. So here's kind of where I have been in the past. Um, okay. Um, 100 maps is kind of where I like to play, just for fun. Because so with the Nerf Surf and Turf, it's gonna be a blast, but I have to fight somebody that I don't want to kill. And uh, Olesia is going to have. I'm trying. I'll have to hear you say it in order for me to say it right. Is going to have more understanding, but I don't want to kill friendly players in the community because I don't want to have bad relations with somebody in the community because I just steamrolled you. But at the same time, so that's kind of the reason that I don't like the small maps because I don't either there's nobody that's playing or it's a community game and I got to steamroll somebody. You know, there's somebody that's just by where the turf is kind of in the target zone. Um, and then 500 games just get to be way too much. I just like they're a blast, but because I play on mobile, it bogs down by the time you get to the end. So it's not even any fun to try to get orders through because you're trying to push the button and it's not responsive. So I, I don't like 500 maps, and 100 maps just seem to hit that sweet spot for me where you don't have necessarily people that you have developed relationships with that you can steamroll and not feel too bad. And you don't have too many dropouts. You actually have a game to play, but it doesn't get bogged down. Okay. Fishies. That makes sense. Uh, okay. Fishies. That makes sense. Uh, German server, could I even play in a game with you in case of a friend game? I think so. I'm not fully aware of how Bytro does the servers for German versus English. I guess is like I think what it is what everything is written in, but I'm not sure how they process it all. I think you have to be in an English server in order to play with me. I can try to speak German, but I'm not really that proficient. 100s are my fave. Yeah, Alicia, um, you mentioned an RP thing. So maybe after this 100 game, like you have a rule set or something. Maybe I can try that and get that out for some people once I'm done with the 500 thing. Yeah, I would like to experiment more with the 100 map. I've played in Africa 3 times and South America once on the 100 map. I've never played in Europe, but Europe is always a um, always a uh, big power player, and I mean it is regardless of whether you're in the 500 or the 100. Europe is tough. So I haven't played there. And I've never played in Asia in the 500 or the 100. So that's kind of where my interest lies. I have not played in North America, but I conquered North America when I played South America, so I kind of have an understanding of that one. And my first game, actually, I played Canada in the 31 player map because it's the introduction at 4 times speed. Oceania's okay. Oceania's okay. I tried spelling Oceania. Um, on Power of Us's one of their first sub games, and it just kind of died. And it was right after Spankerton had done his Australia game that was difficult to finish off, and that was right before the Africa game. Papua New Guinea. Okay. I've not tried Papua New Guinea, but islands, I don't know. Like, so um, I like playing countries with access to the sea because harbors are huge. And if you don't have access to a harbor, that means that the way that you have access for economy is severely hampered. I would um, every time rather have a double province um, next to next to the ocean and also next to an enemy than safe inside my borders, because that economic gain is just so huge. So I can see how um, like an island like Papua New Guinea would be a lot of fun. I just haven't tried it before. Yeah, I don't like Pioneer. So I got access to Pioneer. They have the little pop-ups all the time, right? Pop up, join Pioneer. And every time I'd be like, okay, we'll see if it works this time. And then it's like, sorry, you're no longer eligible. And I caught one once and I hit it like right as it got me. And all of a sudden, I got it. I got in. And so I started messing around with it. I was looking for games and it was like, no, there's no games around, but you have to play in one, but there's nothing around. But you have to play in one after 7 days. So I just said, no, thank you. And then ever since I've joined Pioneer, I don't know if it's connected, but ever since I've joined Pioneer, anytime I get a notification and I just hit the notification instead of going in through the app, it gives me this weird zoomed out view where everything's black. It's weird. I think it messed up my app. So I might just uninstall, reinstall, or something like that. All right, I got to catch up. Asia's cool. Malaysia's OP. Greenland's a good starter. Second 500 is Oceania. Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about, Spankerton. I wasn't in that one, but right after you did that one, Power of Us did one, and I joined that one, and it was rough. Too far to conquer, bad morale, and other problems. You've always got energy problems unless you're Darwin, and even with Darwin, like even if you have Darwin right next to you. So I started off the um, country next to Darwin. I forgot what it is, and I conquered Darwin, and it was still just painful. Near distance to the island, so you can muster your forces faster than Dutch. Um, Alicia, I am not entirely sure. I think it might be based on you can create one free game regardless of, like, as long as you have premium. So you might have already created a game, like a test game or something like that. Um, I'm not sure what the issue might be, but yeah, Pioneer's rough. I don't like Pioneer. I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. So, well, I would say this has been a huge success. Um, I was not anticipating going for 30 minutes, honestly, and we've gone for 40. So I'll probably wrap up in the next 5, and we'll make sure that it's uploaded so that you can all check it out later if there's anything that you missed. But I'm incredibly humbled that all of you decided to join me for 45 minutes on your Sunday. Um, so yeah, I think what we'll do next, I will do a 100, and we'll probably start in. Um, I'll talk with them, and we might do Southeast Asia. I don't plan fishies. I don't plan on doing another solo run in the near term. Um, I like to stay at 3 games. I'm happy to, if you want to see cast of the practice run or my side of the NST. I've not been recording anything on NST. I was considering Bankerton recording just my thoughts on the practice run so that you can see where what everybody's doing. So that you can get a good idea of who's doing a good job. But I haven't decided. I haven't recorded anything at this point, and I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do that. But my thought, fishies, was I wasn't going to try to another solo run for probably until January at the earliest. Just because I want to focus on. Well, I want to get through my vacation, and then I want to focus on trying to get alt through the tournament into the elimination. So the tournament, the way that it's going to work is there are groups, and there's going to be like 4 teams in a group, and you're going to play each of the 4 teams, and whoever, or each of the other 3 teams. So it's one a month. And it's based off of points, and whoever has the most points after 21 days wins. And so the top alliance from each of the groups advances to single elims, and the maybe second place based on the based on the number of alliances that decide to join, and based on tiebreakers. So I would probably like to wait until January or February to do another solo game. But I'm happy to try it again. I might decide my nation this time instead of deciding completely random. NST, so Master Gaming, I am Libya. I am West Libya in the NST game. I am the one that everybody is panicking about because I'm conquering another player. I'm the first person to conquer another player, nearly. I'm a little bit mad, Spankerton, because I want the trophies. I want the trophies, Spankerton. And I know one of them is taking another player's cap. And that's the only province that I haven't taken is the cap. So I'm waiting on it, but I'm just terrified. Somebody else is going to snipe a capital that's right next to them. And I'm not going to be able to get it. But we'll see. I'm excited to keep going on the game. But yeah, I am currently I am the turf player, if that's what you were asking. So I can build the cavalry and the armored cars and eventually the tanks. I'm definitely going to need to build some railguns because Papa Smitty, who loves battleships, is just north of me. So yeah, I am. There's a little bit of a delay, Master Gaming. So, yeah, I'm turf. I've got the ground units, the tanks and whatnot. But yeah, definitely anybody who's in the Mediterranean, which is pretty much just me, turf wise, me and Greece. And I don't remember if it's Harkol. It's not Harcold. Himland or Raya Force or their third is Turf, but they definitely. Oh, good. Okay, okay. They definitely want to. They're gonna want to create some um, railguns. So one more story. Uh, and this is so Um, Papa Smitty came out with the thing in the newspaper, and it was a lot of fun. Uh, and none of this is gonna break my game, or anybody else's as far as I'm aware. But he was saying, "Oh no, there's all of these army and all of this infantry headed over to the New World because." And I don't feel bad about sharing this because they've already taken one province. Olesia has taken a province, so everybody on the map knows that they're headed there. And Papa Smitty posted it in the newspaper, but. But yeah, so he posted this. Benaiah has uh, convinced them, somehow manipulated them into sending all of their forces off the continent. And I'm sitting here like, I wish that I had that power, dude. That would be phenomenal if I could convince people to just yeet their units out into the sea so that I can just occupy it. But and I might come up with a newspaper post here in the next day or so that dramatically describes the telling of I was I was in the room where it happened. I saw Benaya's eyes, Sultan Benaya's eyes, glow a bright yellow as he stared deeply into Alicia's soul, and saw a vision of burning towns, and I knew that I had to leave the continent of Africa. When I came to, everyone in the room had seen the same vision. Uh, I, I might post something in the newspaper. I've thought about it. I haven't done it yet because I've just been busy. Um, but yeah, that's not me. I promise. It's not. It was never. I never suggested that. But it's funny, and I'm glad that Papa Smitty has found some entertainment from it. So I'm glad to know that I do have an achievement coming, though, Spankerton. All right. Well, um, I am going to call it there. If you guys have any questions, and if you thought that this was as fun as I thought it was, because I did not anticipate having this much fun on a live stream, um, mention it on the Discord if you have any questions, and maybe I'll go through uh, Hannibal Lecter. Oh, uh, if you have any Man, Spangerton, you made me lose my train of thought. I was going in for a wrap up, and I just now all I want's fava beans and a nice Chianti. Uh, so yeah, if you have any questions, you guys let me know, and maybe I'll do another one of these here in the near future. Um, but this has been a lot of fun, and if you guys decide that you wanna see more of these, let me know. Um, um, if you guys decide that you wanna see more of these, let me know. Um, thank you for the 5 likes that I've gotten, and there's 8 of you out on the channel right now. So thank you for showing up. This has been a blast. Um, Soli Deo Gloria, and I'll see you next time.